Today is July 8th. So I've had about a half an hour of sleep, so but we're going to do this. So thank you everybody for coming. Yeah, 2016. So this is the fifth conference that I've helped put on. This is the fourth one that we've had at this location. The one last year we did downtown at the Eagles Lodge, which was kind of a funner location, and it was close walking distance to everything, but the setup really wasn't very good, and all the vendors were in the back, and so this is a lot better. Right here, this is the main conference room. Back in this corner is where the cafeteria kitchen place is, so if you have the lunch or dinner tickets, then that's going to be where the lunches and dinners are served. Right next to it is a room where there's going to be some tables with a handful of vendors in there. We don't have a lot of vendors because it's not really like an expo. It really is more of a conference, which is just kind of focusing on the content. Different speakers coming here from, probably half of them are from here in the Inland Northwest in the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area. And a couple others, we have a couple presenters this weekend. That is their first time coming to this conference. And so we're lucky to have them join us. Now in the exhibitor, is anybody under 21? Might be a handful. Okay, so if you're under 21, the bar area here, the central area, you have to stay out of this area. You can go down the hallway. The bathrooms are all the way down the hall on the left side. You can go into the kitchen area and the vendor area, but have to stay out of this main section right here. The schedule is posted on the table out there. If you need a copy of the schedule, it's if you have access to the internet or Wi-Fi or hotspot or whatever, it's energyscienceconference.com. And in the main menu bar, there is a link for the 2016 conference schedule, and that'll give you the full schedule for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this morning, we have 2 presentations, then we're going to break for lunch. Then there's going to be a long presentation from Eric Dollard, and then there's going to be a dinner break, and then another little a short bonus presentation. It'll probably be about maybe an hour long. And I don't recall if that was actually posted on the schedule what that's about, but I think I did email out about it. And so everybody ready to get started? Yeah. So, okay. Okay, so the first presentation that we're going to have is not really an energy-related presentation. Last December 2015, I spent about 10 days down at a business conference. It was a 10-day conference down in Vegas, and I was introduced to somebody. We had some mutual friends, and I saw somebody that was taking a lot of photos and was really getting involved with a lot of people, and he was probably working harder than almost anybody at the entire event. And this is a pretty high-level event. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm looking over, and here's one of the guys that started MySpace. Another guy is one of John McAfee's partners. Looking at somebody else who has a billion-dollar company in partnership with Kodak, and it was just kind of amazing the kind of people that were there. And this gentleman was here to basically document the event, and he does this for hundreds of events all around the country. And he has a humanitarian approach to it and has really helped. He has a whole team of people. His company is the Umbrella Syndicate, and he has you covered. And that's his slogan. And he has authored over 15 books, which includes Keep Smiling, Shift Happens, and Father and Son Bond, Building a Legacy. And he has a really unique style of promotional photography that very few people have been able to replicate. And so before we begin our first energy presentation right after, we're going to learn how to basically do our part using social media to help spread the word of breakthrough energy technology, so you can help get some of the stuff that you learned this weekend out to the people. So help me welcome Ken Rochon.
Thank you very much. Okay, so everyone knows, how many people are not on Facebook that don't use Facebook at all? Okay, all of you that don't use Facebook, I'm going to share with you that that's how you get support, that's how you get fan bases, that's how you get people to actually recognize that what you're creating, inventing, and making the world better with is going to be supported. A lot of people here are have ideas and inventions, and funding would be a great thing to have associated with that, right? So social media is a way of actually leveraging that there's a problem that's going to be solved, and people are attesting that the problem is being solved. So I would just encourage you to sign up for Facebook. And it looks like this is going to be a fun presentation without both of my... And since no one's on Facebook, this is going to be pretty interesting as well. So a couple ironies I'll just share. First of all, I have a Mac, and the Mac is not really working with this particular presentation. And then I use Keynote, and when I do a lot of these conferences, they actually use Mac primarily. So it's getting used to some different things, right? So I guess what we'll do is we'll talk in theory, since there's no presentation here that I can actually show you. But I will tell you, for those of you who are on Facebook, the presentation is on the page. The presentation, I do two types of presentations. I do a keynote presentation where the presentations are in slides, PowerPoint, I have the clicker, and then the other one is where I have it on Facebook so people can actually grab the presentation. So one of the questions I have is, if you have inventions and you have things that you're doing that are cutting edge, what would be the reason that you wouldn't want to have that on social media? Because, yes?
2 reasons. My house gets broken into, or the content gets stolen.
Okay. So the house getting broken into, I would not put addresses. I don't put addresses of where I live. So use it for business. And by the way, if it is business, people can find you anyway. So using Google. So Facebook wouldn't be the reason why you can't use that. So I had some pictures from last night. And the idea of this conference is that if we're doing great things here, why not share that with the world and also attract people that are like-minded to be here? Aaron's done a phenomenal job of actually bringing a like-minded set of people here, and so like-minded that you guys actually do not use social media together, correct?
Do it all telepathically.
Telepathically. Well, I taught fundamentals of physics and chemistry. It's an 8th grade class. I taught physical science, and it was actually the class that really made me excited to make a difference for kids. I had a 5th grade science teacher, and that 5th grade science teacher, and probably most of you have the same kind of story, a science teacher that actually, or sometime that you met a mentor and they actually changed the way you thought and got you excited about learning. So there's a gentleman here who told me about Blinkist. Has anyone ever heard of Blinkist? Yes, you're the man who did it. So has anyone ever heard of Victor? Where's Victor? He's providing lunch and dinner, so big thank you to him. He evidently has some of the best hummus among us, right? Okay. So he shared his card with me last night, and we had a quick conversation about his card drives traffic to his website. And in the business of food, he wants people that are patrons to actually share on social media that he has the best food. So he's actually preventing people from sharing on Facebook, because once you go to a website, you're ordering food and you're doing direct business, but you're not sharing that necessarily on social media. I have a quote that I typically start off with in the first slide. It says, "The only difference from where you are today and where you'll be 5 years from now are the people you meet and the books you read." So Victor told me about Blinkist, and Blinkist is a really, really neat app. You can get off the App Store, and it actually helps you learn as fast as you could possibly learn. In other words, you could read 3 or 4 books a day with Blinkist with very little effort. Victor, what is it, about 20 minutes a book, something like that? Okay. Yeah, you can read it or listen to it. So since we are all learned people and we like knowledge and we know knowledge is power, I will give you that as a gift that Victor gave me, and that is massive difference. So for instance, if my slideshow doesn't work, the Facebook doesn't work, nothing works, and we all got this app, and we were able to propel our thinking, our knowledge, and our ability to actually solve problems quicker, that by itself would be worth it to me in the conference. Yes?
Would you spell that word?
Yes, I will. BLINKIST, and I believe it's .com for the website. They give you a 3-day trial period, 3 free-day trial period to read or enjoy as many books as you can possibly get in that time. So how do we talk in theory? Well, does anyone have a smartphone? Anyone have a smartphone? Let's take them out. Let's do this. I've never done this before. Let's do this. So the thing I love about science and technology is it's about solving problems. So no matter what problem you have. So for instance, I had been working on my computer in my bed for this presentation for probably 5 o'clock to 6:30, and I let the battery power go all the way down to about 37%. I don't know if any of you guys saw me, but I was putting the computer up here, and I was looking for an outlet. At the technology conference, there is no outlet left. Every single outlet is used. So then I reached into my bag of goodies and I pulled out this. This is wonderful for when you travel a lot. It's made by Lizone. It's a computer backup battery. So if you're taking a trip for 5 hours and you're using post-processing like photography, which drains the battery really quickly. So this comes in all types of, this is actually made for Mac, so don't get this if you are a PC person, but Lizone makes lots of PC batteries. Where do we go? We go to the Umbrella Syndicate, and the first album is called TUS Presentation for this conference. The Umbrella Syndicate. Yep. And if you type in just Umbrella Syndicate, it should still come up. Facebook, yes. I know. So, for those of you who are not on Facebook, if someone told you you're leaving money on the table, i.e., there's 90% of the human population in the U.S. that actually is on Facebook, and you invent something, and you're able to actually market it, then you would actually have it paid for, and you'd do well, right? But if the big problem with authors and inventors and even business people is a lot of them go out of business because no one knows about them. Authors, inventors, and business entrepreneurs, a lot of them go out of business because no one knows about them. There's just not enough bandwidth or people that know about them to support the product or service they're offering. So it's interesting, but I don't have to be the best photographer in the world. I just have to be good enough. Great is a bonus. But if I'm a phenomenal marketer, I am in business. So the best photographer in the world who is a bad marketer will starve. And they probably are not on Facebook. And the reason I say that is because I look at photographers that are hungry, and since I'm in that profession, by the way, I haven't always been in that profession. I was a DJ for 28 years. I was an Army officer for a couple years, and then I was a science teacher for 4 years. So I've done different things. I've traveled to over 103 countries. I like to live. I like to really learn. And so being at a conference like this is really good for me because it's getting me excited to meet people like Victor and people that have 50 patents that they just submitted. So I'm excited to serve you guys. I'm here to help you take an idea that you want to actually get into the marketplace and have. I can do these as a little 5-minute or 15-minute, or you can contact me after the event. I will make sure my business cards are available to you. But let's talk about this event and how you can support Aaron and how you can support yourself and the speakers. So if you would do the favor of signing up for Facebook, it really wouldn't hurt you. It takes, I think, 5 minutes to do. And if you did that, it would be a great experiment of does it shift things. So for instance, is there anyone in here that knows every single person in the room? Is there anyone that knows every single person in the room? Aaron, do you know every person in the room? I mean, know every, like you could name everybody? Okay. I ask that because social media solves that. I do not know everyone in the room. But for instance, if we did a group shot on this stage and everyone tagged themselves, you've just given a direct link to connect and stay connected. One of the things I teach is social proof viral campaigns. And social proof by itself is a golden ticket for you being funded. For instance, in my presentation, on my page, I have plenty of people that hold my Keep Smiling cards. They're actually really big shots. I mean, they're celebrities, they're huge authors, they're thought leaders. So what is someone saying when they are holding my business card or they're holding my book? What are they implying to the world? What are they saying? Buy this product. Buy this product, that's one thing, yes. And another thing is they're just saying they endorse it. Why would you hold something in your hand you don't endorse? So it's really interesting, but this Keep Smiling, for any of you who have a book, I would like to meet you. I'd like to help you have your message of your book have more impact in the world. I don't know if you realize some of these facts. I'm just going to share them with you, and hopefully they just inspire you to do something. But 85% of professionals want to write a book. 85%. Only 1% do it. It's a very small number. Then you take the 1% that do it, and you take another 100 of them, so 100 people that actually did the deal. They made the book. Only about 5 of them are successful. Most of them store their book. So why do they store their book? They can't sell them. Why can't they sell them? Nobody knows about them. If there's no buzz about a book, why would anyone go to buy it? And it could be the best book. So if it's the best book, again, best photographer, best book, best invention, doesn't matter what it is. If no one knows about it, we have a problem. You have done a lot of work. So imagine someone that takes 9 months to make a book. Did they try? They tried to make it their best book, right? So the first book they put out, they're not going to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my second best effort. I'm going to say my best effort for the second book. They put the very best in that first book. And what do they get out of it? 11 book sales, average. Now the rest of them are given away, and I don't think that's a bad idea. I give away 900 books a year to people that could be potential clients. I use my books as business cards. Actually, if someone would be kind enough, there's a blue suitcase back there. I have some books, and I do want to give away some of my books today. But if someone sees a blue suitcase in the back there, it's filled with books, and just roll it up here. So how many authors are in the group here? Okay, pretty reasonable amount. Anyone else in here want to write a book? Okay. Do you want to write a book about what you do, or do you want to write a book more as a legacy piece? Yep, that's it. Thank you. Do you want to write it more as a legacy piece? For instance, a book I just wrote, my 15th book, is a book to my son. I wrote the book to my son knowing that I am not a spree young man who just had a baby 3 years ago. I'm 51 years old, and I have a 3-year-old son. And I thought to myself, even if I was 30, I don't know what day I'm leaving this earth. So I wrote him a book. I wrote him a book. It's called Father-Son Bond. Thank you very much. Father-Son Bond, Building a Legacy. So my son is my legacy. And so everything I can do, I want to pour into him. So just a quick fact of, I guess a quick story of why I'm on the stage and why I'm committed to helping you guys. Because really it doesn't really matter about the presentation. It doesn't really matter what I say. It matters what I do. And it matters what's in my heart for what I can do for you. So I had mentioned I was a DJ for 28 years. I still do it occasionally because it gets, believe it or not, the pay is so hard to turn down. When you're at the level I'm at, $500 an hour to roll Frank Sinatra and Michael Bublé and club stuff, it's pretty hard to turn down. So I still do it, and I actually do it to fund, other things I like to do, like travel or this company. So my mom passed of Alzheimer's in 2008. And when she passed of Alzheimer's in 2008, if anyone knows about Alzheimer's, it's not a quick goodbye. It's a very long-term goodbye. And for her, she had aggressive Alzheimer's, so she passed after 3 years of being diagnosed, that doesn't mean she didn't have it before, but those are the 3 years we knew that she had it. And my dad, who worked at NSA and has a very nice career there, he did the same thing. Like everyone seen The Notebook, the movie The Notebook? Okay, the movie The Notebook is about James Garner plays the character, and he is completely devoted to his wife, and when she has Alzheimer's, his life is shattered. And anyone that has a loved one that has Alzheimer's, your life's going to be shattered. But my dad stopped working at NSA. He took 3 years off to be a caretaker because he didn't want to put her in a nursing home. He didn't want her not to be taken care of. And I saw him doing this by himself, and it tore me up. So I actually pretty much quit my job, too. I didn't quit it at the level he did. I went over at 6 o'clock every morning, about 3 o'clock every afternoon, about 11 o'clock every night to make sure not only my mom was okay, but that he was okay. So when she passed, I had kind of a come to God moment, and it lasted about 2 years. I mean, it was not leaving me. I was really thinking, what am I doing with my life that's making an impact? What am I doing with my life that makes a difference? And being a DJ, I'm part of the biggest day of someone's life before they have a child, their marriage. So I was doing about 100 weddings a year. But it certainly wasn't something I could put on my gravestone, or I could say, my gosh, I was part of 2,500 weddings, and I don't know which ones of them are still lasting, which ones aren't. So I decided to take everything I love and see if I could make a hybrid. And anyone know how the Prius is a very successful car because they actually took the best of two worlds. They didn't leave one world behind. They made the best of two. So I decided to make a hybrid photography company, a hybrid media company, a hybrid PR company, and a hybrid marketing company. So what I did was I just put all those together, and I love going to events. I love meeting people. And by the way, anybody here that I meet, if you say you don't want a photo taken of yourself, I honor that. I respect that, because if you love people, you do what makes them happy. So if you want your photo taken, I'll take it, which I'll assume everyone does. But if you don't, and it is going to go on Facebook, and since a lot of you are on Facebook, I'm just going to say when you shift, you actually be able to connect with people on a different level. I tell people we have two lives. We have a life that we're sitting in right now, and we have the life that's perceived on Facebook or Twitter or whatever platform you use. I love Facebook because I make a living from what Facebook does for me. It's very photo friendly. It's very high rating friendly. For instance, if I had all of you sign up for Facebook and you said, you know what, this guy really does deliver. Now, I haven't delivered anything right now, but in 3 days when I actually do stuff for you guys, and I show you how I can help you market, and I show you how you can actually create more abundance in your life, or I help some of you create a book, and you write a 5-star review. I have 675-star reviews that say I do a good job for people, and I don't have to sell. So if you have people saying your product is the best, your invention's the best, it solves this problem, you're getting reviews, all you have to do is go to an investor and he sees all that, that's social proof. So going back to social proof viral campaign, social is what we talk about, and energy is definitely something we talk about. Proof that you're on stage at a energy conference, not just here, but elsewhere, because your name's out there. You have a great book, you have a great message, and you have a great way of solving problems. Viral. Sorry, you need social media. Viral is the world saying that what you're doing big is worth checking out, worth sharing. You have a ton of videos you've taken. Those videos have gone viral. You have 10,000 subscribers, right? That's another form of Facebook. So if you don't like Facebook, you don't like YouTube, you don't like anything, because every single one of them is related to connecting with the human race. Campaign is the best part, though. I don't care if you don't like Hillary or you don't like Trump. They ran the best campaign. And it's sad. Let's go back to the word campaign. Campaign. Campaign is the consistency and the frequency to show the integrity of the message. So social, proof, viral, campaign. Social, what we talk about. Proof that we're doing big things in the world. Viral is that it's time relevant, it goes up the next day or in a very timely fashion, so that people that want to relate to it say, this is important, and they share it. So without being able to show you this, but you can still go to my page, and I have I have 900 clients that have me help them with their social media, and any of them, and I got about 200 of them, are actually admins on my page so they can see the stats. In other words, I run a transparent business. And transparent business allows for you to make mistakes and show the mistakes and correct the mistakes. Isn't it cool? Like if you have a restaurant and you have something that happened that was wrong, and the person tells you and you're able to fix it, but if they don't tell you, they're not a client anymore. So what we do is we make sure our stats are showing every single day. We have roughly 33,000 people engaged on our page. What does engagement mean on social media? Anyone want to give a guess on that? They're not getting married to me. They're not getting married to the page. It's not that kind of engagement. So engagement is the most important aspect of social media. If you have 1 million people that liked your page, but you have an engagement of 2, you're failing. You're dead page. So engagement is the most important thing. In fact, it's kind of funny, but if you only had 10 people like your page, but you had an engagement of 100,000, you're just absolutely kicking butt. So why is engagement important? Because the world is telling the world that it is. That's what's so cool about social media. If you're a bad restaurant, you're going to go out of business faster. If you're a great restaurant, you're going to stay in business quicker. You're going to be more successful quicker. Yes?
What's the difference between being liked and being engaged on the page?
Huge difference. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, I'm not going to just say a huge difference and that's it. I'm not going to just do that. That's just mean. I'm going to go with no. Big difference. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So a like is active in the moment, saying that you like the page and you've seen enough in the page that you support it. But if you never come back, you're not engaged. And Facebook is probably one of the hardest platforms to have engagement because they want to make a profit. They have investors, board of directors, they have all the people they have to answer to. So they make it almost impossible to break your algorithm. The algorithm is the quality of the content, the relevancy of the content, how quick the content is appreciated. And let's talk about appreciation. Appreciation is another word for engagement, so that goes back to answering your question, sir. A like, a comment, a share, and a tag are engagement aspects of a post. Whereas I was answering the like that you were talking about earlier as a like button on the page only. So once you hit the like button, and here's another thing, if you invite all 5,000 of your friends, you really find out who your friends are, right? But the people that don't know about your page still, they can't support you, can they? So when you invite your entire friend list on Facebook, they may not even know they got a notification, because in this day and age, we have just too much information hitting us. I sometimes have to turn down my notifications, which can be a little alarming when you have 900 clients and you're managing all their pages. So my phone is just like this all the time. So does that answer your question? Engagement? It's when you put a post up and it's relevant enough that people like it, and you get enough engagement on it, which is a like, a tag, a comment, a share, that it breaks an algorithm on Facebook, which tells Facebook this is good stuff. Now, Facebook's kind of cool. They got some really good things, and they have some really things I don't like so much. So it's kind of a pay-to-play messaging center. So if you're doing big things in the world, but you don't know how to market it correctly on social media, then it's going to be dead. And so that's unfortunate. But if you do know how to market correctly, which is tagging, so if there's people here, like the speakers, for instance, I'm going to make sure I tag them when I'm taking pictures of them, so that their fan base then learns that they're here, but more importantly, their fan base learns about this conference. So when I set up this company, I want to set it up not as a win-win, but as a win-win-win or more. So I have, typically when I go into an event, I can create a minimum of 4 wins. So if a lot of people find out about this conference, the quality of the conference, the need of this conference, the quality of people at this conference, do you think Aaron could have a better chance of getting sponsorship? Couldn't he get a sponsor to pick this up? If enough people said this conference was going to be supported, then it goes viral, then that particular company that sponsors is going to be seen by a lot of people, right? So if we played a game for Aaron's sake and for the sake of this topic of energy and science and technology, if we played a game, so it's not for me, okay? It's for Aaron, it's for the conference, and it's for you. So every time I name somebody, that's a win. If we all play together to support this event, Aaron wins. Is that true? Okay? If everyone here is photographed and you are able to connect with people on social media because they tag themselves, then you now can connect with people, and people now know you more, right? That's 2. That's the members. The people speaking up here, if they have books to sell and they have a great message, and you tell the world how great they were up here on stage, do they win? Better on social media? Yeah, of course. That's 3. If we have any brands, anybody who is a sponsor of this event, that would be 4. So that's 4 right there. And then I'm not going to be bashful. I win too. I win because I was able to cultivate another successful campaign on social media of an event that needs to be known. Now, it's kind of funny because so many things I shared with you is so different from what I'm used to, but it's still an experiment. This experiment could absolutely shift everything for Aaron or you guys, or even myself. I mean, it's kind of cool, but you could have an invention here that's worth millions of dollars, and you talk to the right person that gets you to the right investor, and next thing you know, it's all good, isn't it? Doesn't that make all the difference when there's a connection? I usually also start my presentation with the power of one philosophy, which is Mahatma Gandhi. You must be the change you want to see in the world, right? So Aaron is that person. Aaron saw the vision of creating a conference like this, and without Aaron, we are not together here. Bernie Dorman, who owns CEO Space, which is how I met Aaron, if you guys want to check, if you guys are in the patent, or you need capital funding, or you need something big to happen for you to actually shift to another level, CEO space, although it's a bit of an investment, I think it's $7,500, it puts you in the game. It puts you in the game with the people that can connect the dots, connect the people. And when you think about it, if you're talking about $1 million idea, that little investment of money is nothing if your product or idea or invention is worth an investment. And by the way, if you have a social media campaign, couldn't you get funding for that step? You could have someone say, hey, if you will pay for me to go to CEO space, for instance, or pay for me to take this next step in my life, you'll own this equity in my invention. Isn't that cool? So you're partnering, you're collaborating. I have this big idea I'm doing above the Umbrella Syndicate, and I'm giving away like 67% of my company idea because I want these highly skilled, highly talented people to make me a multi-million dollar company. I think I'm going to close with this idea, and I'm just going to invite you to be human, have fun, and let me capture you as a human. Because when I do that, people want to connect with you. A smile is so important. I have Keep Smiling cards. I have Keep Smiling books. When I finish with this message, I'm going to just take a couple books out, and I'm going to just give a couple away, and I've probably used up my time. I think I didn't use up, I think I get some time back because of how much time I had to figure out how to even be up here. All right, so I love Amazon, and I love Southwest. I don't necessarily like Ticketmaster, but I like Eventbrite, and I really like Uber and Lyft. The reason I pointed them like this is I'm forming a company out of an idea that's another hybrid. And people like yourself are the kind of people that I talk to about ideas like this, and next thing I know, I have the idea in action. So here's the idea. If you wanted to be at all the best energy conferences in the world, you could Google it. But what if you also liked leadership, or you like marketing, or you like to do things that your weakness, maybe it's marketing. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a company that is actually a domain, bigeventsusa.com. It hasn't launched. It's launching this month or next month. And I have a team of people that are helping me launch it. And the idea is people can go on Big Events USA and find the biggest events in the United States of America. And they can find it, and they can buy the ticket right there. But here's what's cool about it. A guy asked me, well, why wouldn't they just buy it from the place? Why wouldn't they just go directly to the place? I said, because on Big Events USA, you get a social proof coupon for $500. And you can give it to the photographer at the event, and he will do the social proof for you. And you're getting social proof that you are doing big things in the world. When you're doing big things in the world and you don't have the world know about it, what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. So I'm just sharing this with you because if you have ideas, I am a problem solver. I may not be an inventor. I may not be an engineer, but I am a problem solver. And I do invite you to tell me what you need me to help you with in a marketing or business standpoint, and that will be my way of contributing to this event. So I'm just going to open up this case and just pull out a couple books to give out, and then I will let the next speaker come up. So this is a Keep Smiling book, and these are some of the, anyone ever heard of George Takei? Yeah. He held the card up. He was one of the people that actually held it up so quickly. I said, this is cool. If really big people will hold up a Keep Smiling card in a second, why don't I just start showing it on social media? I had so many photos of really cool people that I just made a book out of it. And it says, a smile is the most powerful expression on earth. It is an expression of connection, positivity, even love. And it goes on to say more. Who, there you go, come on up. Didn't even give me a chance to say who likes to smile. Look at that smile there. There you go. This one you have to qualify for. This one you have to qualify for. But I see you there. All right, so this is called the Centurion World Traveler Game. And it says, knocking out your bucket list. It says, my hope is to inspire you to connect with the world. Many of us fall in a trap of believing we are only able to do so much with the money and time we have. It's a dangerous trap because it becomes our reality. The purpose of this book is to make life a game. And you win more points the more you play. And the first quote in this book is, the world is a book, and those that don't travel only read one page. That's St. Augustine. So this book goes to the person who loves to travel, and that would be a person that has been to the most countries. So, anybody over 30 countries? Over 30?
27.
You over 30? How many?
70 or 80.
70 or 80? Anybody top that? I think he deserves it, right? Yeah. About this. I wrote this book when I had about that many countries. Wow. I wrote a book on how to get to 100 countries, and I'd only been to 35. Now, how do you write a book like that? Because I'm a scientist. In 3.5 years, I did 35 countries. I said in 10 years, I can do 100. And that's what I wrote the book for. Here you go, sir. Good catch.
So what's his name? If you're going to advertise, let him stand up and put a tag on him and take a picture.
Well, I don't have a camera handy, Frank, and you just, this guy's dangerous. Frank, stand up, Frank. Do not call him Alan Arkin, okay?
Everybody.
I had a great slide of Alan Arkin, and then Frank, and you couldn't tell the difference. Frank, you're a little better looking, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this is my special book, Father-Son Bond for Building a Legacy. Building a legacy is our footprint on this planet that we made a difference. This book provides 100 life lessons that I've learned either from my father or mentors. The gift in this book is that the earth is better. The earlier and better you learn these lessons, the more abundance and happier and successful you'll be. And it's weird, but I actually wrote this book, as I was kind of alluding to, is because of death. So I wrote this page. It's page 30 in the book. Like one idea can cause a whole book to happen. So each page starts with the word son. So son, since death is part of life, one day I won't be here, and the most important gift I will leave behind are the words on these pages. I'm writing to you because I want you to always hear my voice. A wise man shared with me the way we really live life is to live it like it's our last year. So who has a son? Who has a son they'd like to share this with? Okay, sir, you get it. Man with the American flag shirt. And I will just wrap this up because this will take a little while, but I'll give, here, you get this one, and I'll even possibly give you another book. This book shows you, this book shows you that the book can be written pretty quick. It's called Quick. So, quick solutions to world problems, world's shortest book in full color. I mean, this is in full color, ladies and gentlemen. So, one idea spawned this being written, and the idea was discrimination. Okay? So the middle part is discrimination, the top part's addiction, and the third part is traffic. So these are three serious world problems. Would you agree? Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people that have addictions that hold them back and hurt society. Discrimination, we still see that. And traffic, obviously, the road's full in Los Angeles and other places, right? So the discrimination part I'll read to you. We can go back to the beginning of time and learn bullying, gossip, inequality, and judging are just some forms of discrimination that has held back mankind. The reason we argue, fight, and go to war is because we don't know how to appreciate differences. This book takes on a problem that, if unsolved, can cause the extinction of our species. Pretty heavy stuff for a... So the person who got this, he's going to be able to brag on social media or on Facebook. I read a book today while I was at the conference. Okay? So I'm going to read 1/3 of the book to you, right? 1/3 of the book. Are you ready? 3 serious world problems. I will not read that and that because then I'll be reading half the book. I'm just going to read discrimination number 2. So discrimination, solutions to 3 serious world problems. I'm not giving the solutions to the other 2, but the solution to discrimination is just accept people. Damn. Wow. Cut that down, didn't I? All right. Who is the most discriminant person in here? I'd like to give you this one. Okay, sir, you want it? Come on up. That's yours. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot more I could talk about. I do talk usually for 2 hours, and I really appreciate you giving me some patience and latitude because I've never done a presentation where anti-Facebook, anti-Apple, anti-iPhone. So you guys, my heart says that you guys are great because I've met some of you. I want to meet more of you, and I want to make the difference. And really, it's called game changing, right? So when you meet someone, you hear the problem, you can solve the problem, and you guys can do all this for yourselves too. But I can do it for you in that social media context that could actually wake up the world that you're doing something significant. So thank you very much.
Today is July 8th. So I've had about a half an hour of sleep, so but we're going to do this. So thank you everybody for coming. Yeah, 2016. So this is the fifth conference that I've helped put on. This is the fourth one that we've. Last December 2015, I spent about 10 days down at a business conference. It was a 10-day conference down in Vegas. And I was introduced to somebody. We had some mutual friends, and I saw somebody that was taking a lot of photos and was really getting involved with a lot of people. And he was probably working harder than almost anybody at the entire event. And this is a pretty high-level event. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm looking over, and here's one of the guys that started MySpace. Another guy is one of John McAfee's partners. Looking at somebody else who has a billion-dollar company in partnership with Kodak, and it was just kind of amazing the kind of people that were there. And this gentleman was here to basically document the event, and he does this for hundreds of events all around the country. And he has a humanitarian approach to it and has really helped. He has a whole team of people. His company is the Umbrella Syndicate, and he has you covered. And that's his slogan. And he has authored over 15 books, which includes Keep Smiling, Shift Happens, and Father and Son Bond, Building a Legacy. And he has a really unique at this location. The one last year we did downtown at the Eagles Lodge, which was kind of a funner location, and it was close walking distance to everything, but the setup really wasn't very good, and all the vendors were in the back. And so this is a lot better. Right here, this is the main conference room. Back in this corner is where the cafeteria kitchen place is. So if you have the lunch or dinner tickets, then that's going to be where the lunches and dinners are served. Right next to it is a room where there's going to be some tables with a handful of vendors in there. We don't have a lot of vendors because it's not really like an expo. It really is more of a conference, which is just kind of focusing on the content. Different speakers coming here from, probably half of them are from here in the Inland Northwest in the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area. And a couple others, we have a couple presenters this weekend. That is their first time coming to this conference. And so we're lucky to have them join us. Now, the exhibitor, is anybody under 21? There might be a handful. Okay, so if you're under 21, the bar area here, the central area, you have to stay out of this area. You can go down the hallway. The bathrooms are all the way down the hall on the left side. You can go into the kitchen area and the vendor area, but have to stay out of this main section right here. The schedule is posted on the table out there. If you need a copy of the schedule, it's if you have access to the internet or Wi-Fi or hotspot or whatever, it's energyscienceconference.com. And in the main menu bar, there is a link for the 2016 conference schedule, and that'll give you the full schedule for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this morning, we have 2 presentations, then we're going to break for lunch. Then there's going to be a long presentation from Eric Dollard, and then there's going to be a dinner break, and then another little a short bonus presentation. It'll probably be about maybe an hour long. And I don't recall if that was actually posted on the schedule what that's about, but I think I did email out about it. And so everybody ready to get started? Yeah. So, okay. Okay, so the first presentation that we're going to have is not really an energy-related presentation. Unique style of promotional photography that very few people have been able to replicate. And so before we begin our first energy presentation right after, we're going to learn how to basically do our part using social media to help spread the word of breakthrough energy technology, so you can help get some of the stuff that you learned this weekend out to the people. So help me welcome Ken Rochon.
Thank you very much. Okay, so everyone knows how many people are not on Facebook that don't use Facebook at all. Okay, all of you that don't use Facebook, I'm going to share with you that that's how you get support, that's how you get fan bases, that's how you get people to actually recognize that what you're creating, inventing, and making the world better with is going to be supported. A lot of people here are have ideas and inventions, and funding would be a great thing to have associated with that, right? So social media is a way of actually leveraging